On a crescent-shaped island with glowing coral reefs as their main attraction among a colony of 50 people, there is a princess who is a descendant of moon people. She considers herself the ugly duckling of the family. The look she usually takes in public differs from her normal appearance, adding to her own self-imposed complex, feeling suitors love her for what she's not. She doesn't understand what it is to love, so to choose a suitor, she gives them an impossible task. One day, the Prince of Arashima comes to propose to her. She asks him to get moonfish as a condition to marry her for life, but getting the hint, the prince decides to leave on good terms. One day when she was on the beach, her attendant Tsuki says it's okay if you don't want to get married, but the princess reveals that she'll give her entire life to someone who can achieve her nearly impossible task, because it shows how much they actually value her compared to the difficulty of the task that they are given. Because she doesn't understand what love is, this is her measure of value to alternate for that. After going on a nice swim, she decides to dance for a little while singing a song she heard from her grandmother. Unexpectedly, she met a little man on a spaceship the size of a lunchbox. He wants to trade with her anything, be it an object, knowledge, on tradition, or tales in writing. But the main issue here is that she can't read, nor can she write, so the little man decides to teach her. She felt as expected for her first time, with the little man at her side deciding to teach her from scratch. Later on, he decides to read her first attempt, proofreading it to her embarrassment. She then ran into some issues when writing in her room, because the fact is only she can see him, and thus it looks like she's talking to herself to others, which worried her attendants. So the man decides to fix her issue by preparing a desk for her so she can write outside, and this is where she starts to write about the story of the girl from the moon and the man from Earth, which I've done a video on, which you can watch after this. She did get stuck writing her story because she considered her own personal biases towards some of the characters that went against what her grandmother told her. Her story is based off of what she was told, but the little man tells her he wants to hear her story, not the accurate tale that she was told. Eventually she finishes the story and she asks the man to rate it, but he refuses to do so. But he does tell her that he likes it and gives her a box that was a part of his job to deliver to her. Within this box was a shell, which she put up to her ear, hearing a voice of someone that she doesn't know telling a story of the past of the girl of the moon and the man from Earth. Ending similarly to where we started, the princess is dancing under the moonlight where she met the little man for the first time, giving him her story, which he puts in a storage space within his little ship, neatly in a case, saying this completes the deal between them. She then proceeds to tell him about her life story and her reason for a nearly impossible task. He tells her how honest she is and that he knew someone like her, a person who prioritized the life of others over herself. She tells him that she'll write a much better story next time, inspired by the voice of the past that she heard from the shell, making a bargain in exchange for a moonfish for her next story, which is a sign that she wants to leave behind a new story. The little man finally leaves as his time on this planet is up and he flies into the empty night skies. The princess reflects on the story from the voice in the shell, concluding that even though the girl on the moon had a one-directional romance and that the man from Earth had a self-satisfied determination, both prayed for each other's happiness, leading them both to be happy at the end of the day. If you want to hear more about the story that the princess told, then check the video in the description or on the screen.